I'm Matt Bishar with REIT.com here in New York City for REITWeek 2014. Joining me for this CEO Spotlight is David Schulte, the CEO of CorEnergy Infrastructure Trust. David, thanks so much for joining us.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
The infrastructure space is relatively new to the REIT sector, and CorEnergy is carving out its own unique strategy within that. But I was wondering if you could start by comparing the infrastructure sector to other REIT sectors.
REITs are designed to enable a high level of cash flow to flow from the project through to the investors. And that's similar in infrastructure assets as well as other REIT sectors like office rents and single family or multifamily housing. What's different is that the underlying projects in infrastructure tend to be very long duration cash flow streams rather than short-term rents that have low correlation to the overall economy. And that provides yet another level of diversification for REIT investors.
And CorEnergy has laid out a disciplined growth strategy. Can you talk a little bit about the opportunities that you're seeing in the market for expansion and how that's factoring into your growth strategy?
Well, we picked the energy infrastructure sector to start with, and it's pretty well known among investors generally that the U.S. economy is undergoing a renaissance in part due to the tremendous amount of onshore natural resources. Well, those resources have to get to market. And that transportation function requires the construction of a lot more energy infrastructure. And we're participating in that through projects we have a chance to finance. We also have growth naturally built into our leases through participating features in the rental stream. So we have growth in every investment that we make, and we don't have to increase our asset size just to increase our growth rate. We target long-term growth rates in the low single digits on top of a current income of around 7%. It provides investors a long-run distribution total return opportunity of 10% or better with really low volatility.
So it sounds like there's a lot going on at the company. Can you tell us a little bit about the management team you have in place?
Well, members of our team are doing something that's fairly novel in the capital markets right now. But our team has worked together in the past in a variety of ways. So we have operating engineers and commercial experts from utilities and energy companies working on our dedicated team. We're also affiliated with Tortoise Capital Advisors. It's one of the largest investment management firms in the MLP market. And we have access to that team and their resources, and that helps a lot with deal flow and with capital markets projects that we execute in order to finance our investments. And so I think our team is very well positioned from an experience set to execute on this relatively novel portion of the REIT market.
David, thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here. Thanks very much for your time.
For more on this and other REIT news and analysis, be sure to visit REIT.com.